taking rugby into a different league.
Two sides desperate for a place at Old Trafford are head-to-head on Sky tonight. Bradford Northern take on Castleford as the Premiership gains pace. The whole match coming up from Odsal Stadium. Despite losing at Leeds last week, Bradford finished third in the big league, a far cry from last season when relegation was looming. Northern's wild boars have come out of their shells in '93. Castleford's Australian coach Darrell van der Velde bids farewell to the Tigers at the end of the season. That will be tonight if they lose here at Odsal. But as Wigan clinched their fourth successive league title last Friday, Cass played some enterprising stuff. It was a disappointing final placing though, sixth compared to third 12 months ago, but Cass know how to score fine tries. In the big league, Castleford beat Bradford twice, and Kiwi Richie Blackmore scored one of the tries of the season. But a word of caution, they lost only twice against Bradford in the league over the past 5 years, and both times here at Odsal. And the high-stepping New Zealander is out injured. He's hardly played this year. So it's the battle of the little big men on Sky tonight. Derek Fox against Mike Ford. And it's the Premiership trophy that's at stake. The two Bradford Foxes, coach Peter on the right and his namesake Derek on the left of your picture there. No relation, but both winners and both aiming for the big day at Old Trafford. This is the side Bradford Northern put out in the Premiership. Roger Simpson's the full-back. On the wing, it's Mick Taylor wearing 2. Steve McGowan is in the centres in 3. Alongside him, the Australian Tony Anderson in 4. And Bree McKebby gets his first start since September on the wing in 5. Neil Summers moves from hooker last week to stand-off half this. Alongside him, the scrum half Derek Fox. Up front, the captain, David Hobbs. Brian Noble is the hooker. It's John Hamer in 10. That's the front row. Second row, Roy Powell wears 11. And Carl Furbank wears 12. And the lineup completed by the veteran David Heron. And the Bradford Northern coach is Peter Fox. The old Castleford coach and the new, Darrell van der Velde, returns to Australia at the end of the season, and former Cass great John Joyner takes over the reins. Joyner named this week as the new boss at Weldon Road. Alan Agar moves from Halifax to work alongside him. Van der Velde hopes his season will be extended by at least a couple of weeks. Graham Stedman is his fullback. On the wing, it's Simon Middleton. In the centres, Tony Smith wears 3 and Grant Anderson wears 4. St John Ellis completes the three-quarter line in 5. Australian Peter Coyne is the stand-off half in 6. It's been a wonderful season for Mike Ford, the Castleford scrum half. And the Cass captain is Lee Crooks, the prop forward in 8. Graham Southernwood's the hooker wearing 9. Keith England completes the front row in 10. Second rowers are Tony Morrison wearing 11 and Martin Kettridge in 12. And the Kiwi Tawera Nikau is the loose forward in 13. And the coach for at least today and hopefully, as far as he's concerned, for the next few weeks, Darrell van der Velde. Bradford Northern finished third this season, quite a contrast to last time out in their fight against relegation. It has been their best finish to a season since they were champions in 1981. The Odsal pitch is going to be very heavy. It's been raining here for fully 24 hours. The going is bound to be just a touch gluey. And Roger Simpson, stand-off half in the 1990 Premiership final against Widnes. Castleford, 6th in the big league, a disappointment after finishing third last year and getting through to Wembley. They finished just a point behind Bradford, but 3 places lower than them from 14 wins, 11 defeats and a draw. But 8 of those defeats were away from their home at Weldon Road. Substitutes, Bradford have Dio Powell and Paul Medley on the bench. Castleford with two big raw-boned forwards, Andy Fisher and Dean Sampson. Brima Kebby wearing 5 for Bradford Northern. It's the first time that he has played for Bradford since September. Made a debut against Castleford in August and ran in 2 tries. Tawera Nikau, the New Zealand international, is the only ever present in the Castleford pack. He was captain of the side that won the Yorkshire Cup last season against Bradford Northern. And Mike Ford's having an excellent season. He's been to Old Trafford twice, man of the match in the 1990 second division final for Oldham, and he was also in 1988 in the Oldham side. Leading try scorer after 2 against Wigan last week with 22 touchdowns. Roger Simpson, the stand-up half in the 1990 Premiership final against Widnes, a 1990 British Lion, and he has played in 4 different positions this season for Bradford Northern. Match referee is Ian Ollerton from Wigan, 40 years old. He's been in the big league since the season 1990-91. So a great day here in West Yorkshire. Bradford Northern against Castleford. It's a real local derby. More than just Yorkshire pride at stake, though. Place in the semi-finals, and who knows, Old Trafford on the 16th of May. Early touch for Brima Kebby. That's Brian Noble from dummy half, but brought to earth quickly by Lee Crooks. Derek Fox to John Hamer.
Castleford defence up very quickly indeed. They really mean business.
Conditions bound to play a part. It's very heavy, this Odsal pitch. Hobbs is kicked downfield to Graham Steadman. Steadman runs forward the 10 metres and then is clobbered by Neil Summers. This is St John Ellis. Castleford completed the league double over Bradford, 30 points to 20 at home and 28-6 here at Odsal. But they lost their last 2 fixtures to Leeds and Wigan. But they have their sights on Old Trafford. Nikau in possession for them.
Well, on that last occasion that Castleford came here, they really did blitz Bradford in the opening 10 minutes. If my memory serves me correct, they scored 2 tries in that opening stanza. And they'll be looking for the same today.
A high kick that hangs in the air at Odsal, and Simpson has missed it. It's bounced back. And no try, though. He's not given it. Simpson misfielded it completely, and Steadman thinks he got the hand to it.
Well, he made a real meal of this. And as far as I'm concerned, it was Middleton that had the left hand going down. If he'd have missed it, then that would have been a try. But you could see quite clearly that Middleton's legs had gone over the in-goal area, dead in-goal line.
So a let-off for Bradford Northern. Had Middleton not touched it and Steadman touched down instead, it would have been a try.
Yes, Steadman wasn't over the line. That was good refereeing there by Ian Ollerton.
Big second rower is Martin Kettridge for Castleford. Southernwood's the dummy half. Now Ford. Misses out 2 and finds Coyne. Coyne going through the gap, but the gap closed down quickly by Powell and Heron. Southernwood again. Crooks with the drive towards the line, Lee Crooks. Last one for Castleford with Southernwood. Back to Ford. Jinks it through. Simpson is there, and did he get a toe to it? No, he didn't.
Took a big gamble there, Roger Simpson. It was a nice kick by Ford. But you can see quite clearly the ball had just gone over that dead goal line. A lot of pressure on Bradford. Interesting to see how Castleford have approached this game, even though it's heavy conditions, very wet. They're trying to move the ball out wide, play dry weather football.
This is Mick Taylor. And I noticed that the Bradford Northern fullback Roger Simpson is limping rather heavily early on here. Obviously he's taken a knock. This is Bree McKevie. Over the shoulder of Hamer, and the referee says play on. The ball went backwards, so Bradford continue the movement with Anderson. Fox fills one down looking for the corner, but it doesn't bounce on this heavy pitch. Drops like a pudding and stays in the field of play. Steadman has to run the ball out.
Bradford Northern will be looking for a big game from Derek Fox. It's taken him a while to get into the swing of things since the operation. And that looked a high one from Hobbs. The swinging right arm on the Kiwi Tawira Nikau, and he didn't miss. There you see quite clearly. Oh, dearie me, and not even a word was said to him. Just a penalty given.
Taking a quick penalty, Castleford. This now is St John Ellis. Well, we had a tremendously open contest on Friday on Sky, St Helens against Halifax. And it's 6 to go for Castleford now. Hamer working hard from the marker position at the play the ball. Here's Lee Crooks. The surging run from the big prop forward, and it's taken 3 to halt him. Heron, Furbank and Derek Fox eventually. It's now Morrison with the scrum cap, rounded by Brian Noble. Mike Ford switches the direction of the attack with Peter Coyne. And last tackle for Castleford. It's been all Castleford pressure so far. Crooks dabs it forward again, testing that injury that Simpson's got.
Well, they've got the right idea, Castleford. Slippy conditions, keeping the ball low onto the floor, anything can happen. That's the third occasion that they've just put the little grubber kick through. And offside a mile there. Sent it Grant Anderson, a little bit too enthusiastic. You can see 2 steps in front of everyone else. A single one line of defence.
Not the best kick in the world. Have lost at Odsal only 3 times, Bradford Northern. Castleford, St Helens and Warrington have beaten them here. This is the important one though. Progress in the Premiership not only means an extension to your season and 1 or 2 extra wage packets, it also means quite a lucrative run for your club. If you've managed to get to the big payday at Old Trafford, that's a great way to end your season. And Neil Summers just hauled down by Lee Crooks. Mike Ford working hard, couldn't cut out the pass though. This is Roy Powell. Bradford on the attack really for the first time.
It's obvious that Bradford are going to use their big forwards, try to bring the ball back inside.
It's Heron with the sliding kick. Nick Taylor was offside, and so he just let that one run into touch.
Good refereeing here by Ian Ollerton. He shouted out to Mick Taylor there and said, "You're offside, get off it, leave it alone." Either way, good kick from the loose forward, David Heron.
Conditions not the best here at Odsal for faster, open and attractive rugby that we saw on Friday. Be a totally different game, this one, I fancy, Mike, than Saints Halifax.
Well, 2 different sides, really. The fact that Bradford Northern, their strength lies in their big pack of forwards. But I'm sure that Castleford will want to try to get the ball out wide. I think they'll be a little bit more enthusiastic in trying to pass. Bradford will try to play down the middle.
Interestingly, this is the first ever meeting in this Premiership competition between Bradford and Castleford. But they've had some tremendous tussles in the past in all the other competitions that the Rugby League runs. Eight minutes gone, we await the first points. It's been mainly Castleford pressure, and they're defending now on the Bradford 20-metre line as Hamer takes it up for Northern. Noble from dummy half. Roy Powell on a diagonal run. Derek Fox. And David Heron finds Steve McGowan. Last one for Bradford. It's with Hobbs. Now it's with Anderson. He just clips it right-footed.
Won't be too happy with that, Grant Anderson. Not the best of kicks. Really should have been down, way down. Sorry, Tony Anderson should have been way down into the corner. Only gained about 10 metres then.
This is Simon Middleton. And Grant Anderson was the dummy half. He's found Graham Steadman. Little half break from Steadman. Oh, and it soon came to a halt when he ran into the considerable frame of Carl Fairbank. And you can see that our cameramen are having difficulty keeping the lenses clear, but they're picking out this run now from Tony Smith, and Smith's gone all the way. Tony Smith with a try. A try really from nothing. Great break from the centre. His 22nd of the season. He's level now with Mike Ford.
Stone's bit of Premiership replay. What a beautiful pass by the skipper, Lee Crooks. And this man really does have the speed. Tony Smith. Look at him accelerate there. Simpson just does it up the legs. Clicks him at the last moment. Momentum takes him through. But this is sheer quality. The dummy and the step. That is beautiful prop forward play by the skipper, Lee Crooks. And this man, as I said, has the speed. Roger Simpson is no slouch. That is a great try. That is football at its best. Wonderful little pass by the veteran Lee Crooks.
And Tony Smith must enjoy playing against Bradford Northern. That's the 6th try this season. One in the Yorkshire Cup final last year as well. The former under-21 international gives Castleford a lead in the 10th minute. And so Lee Crooks, who created the try with the pass, can now add the extra 2. Takes his time, Lee Crooks, over conversions, knows how important the extra 2 points might be. Given it a chance, but misses. Shake of the head. 4-0, Castleford ahead.
Step inside, the passing through, the break appears. Beautiful football. Well-planned move and good support play. He's a talented footballer, Tony Smith. Got plenty of speed.
So Bradford restart. It's been a bright start this, though, by Castleford to this Premiership first round tie. 11.5 minutes gone. Confirmation that Castleford lead courtesy of the Tony Smith try. The end of the season for whoever loses today. The winners go on to the semi-finals in 2 weeks' time. Small matter of the Challenge Cup final at Wembley next Saturday. The rest of the Rugby League takes that weekend off. Then the Premiership semi-finals, the Friday and the Sunday, and then the big day itself at Old Trafford, May the 16th. And just let me continue to emphasise that Sky will be there for the full day. The Academy final, then the Divisional Premiership, and then the big one. All 3 matches live in a 7-hour telecast from Old Trafford. An absolute feast of Rugby League for you on Sky that weekend. Bradford trailing 4-0 in possession with Fairbank. And no wonder that Castleford are ahead when you look at that possession statistic. Fox clips the ball downfield. Summers is moving up quickly to cut Steadman's options down and reels him in. That's good chasing by the stand-off. He has been the Bradford Northern Player of the Year. This is a great run, meanwhile, from Middleton. He's given it to Ford. Middleton's continued the run for support. And Simpson had to tackle Mike Ford and did.
Great play by the winger Middleton there. He kept his cool, slowed the pace down so he could find his supports.
Tremendous run from the winger. Ball goes left to Nickow. Nickow gets through, look to unload the pass. Hobbs is all over him, and the referee has given the penalty to Castleford. You've got to lead go of the legs and roll out of the way.
He'd no option there. You can see David Hobbs. He puts the ball down there. Now, if he'd released a lot quicker then, that ball could have been struck for by a Bradford player standing in front. But the referee, rightly so, gives a penalty. More pressure now for Bradford.
And needless to say, in these conditions, Lee Crooks doesn't fancy the penalty attempt from out wide, so they're running it, and it's Crooks who has it now. This is Ford on pass. Try scorer Grant Anderson it is, rather, not Tony Smith. Now the big prop forward, Keith England. Beefy, they call him, that's his nickname. Southernwood to Crooks. Crooks slips and drops it.
Slippy conditions, Crooks, you could see, was going to throw the dummy. He had Martin Kettridge coming back on the inside. You could see, he virtually knew what was going to happen. He knew the trailer was coming through on the inside there. But didn't take hold of the ball.
Bradford with head and feet at the scrum then, and in possession now with Neil Summers. Deep in their own half of the field though, and aiming here today for their third victory in knockout football against Cass this season. They won in the Yorkshire Cup and they won the Regal Trophy semi-final too. But trailing at the moment after a quarter of an hour by 4 points to 0.
Bradford's biggest problem is that they just can't get out of their own half. Some strong tackling by the Castleford defence.
Now they might with McGowan. That was a good tackle that time. And low handling error count, isn't it? Just the one from Castleford, that drop ball by Lee Crooks. Fox ducks away from the challenge of Smith. Again, plants that ball down in the corner, and this time it has the legs. Finds touch.
Excellent little chip over by Derek Fox. You can see how the speedway track and the laid grass comes up at an angle. Ideal situation to punch the ball through, of course, helps to hold the ball there in a stationary moment. Beautiful to kick into that corner.
Now it's Castleford's turn to try and work the ball away from their own try line. Southernwood. Good tackling from Hamer. Noble there as cover just in case. Here's Crooks. Keith England it was, disappearing under that challenge. This is Mike Ford.
Finding quite a few gaps as this Castleford from the dummy half position. Bradford just a little bit lax in that area.
Mike Ford took a bang then. He's just hanging back this kick downfield that's been gathered in by Roger Simpson. And Mick Taylor, 31 years old, the Bradford winger, formerly with Oldham and London Crusaders. John Hamer dislocated a shoulder against Castleford in the Regal semi-final and then was out for 8 matches. Derek Fox, David Heron and Neil Summers. Sees a little gap for Summers, scampers his way forward. The support was there from Anderson, but a Castleford hadn't touched it. That's a try! Try for Bremer Kemby! His first match since September, scored 2 tries on his debut against Castleford in August, and he's done it again today.
Stone's bit of Premiership replay. Beautiful run by Neil Summers. They threw the dummy. Tony Smith took it. He accelerated well and he did the right thing. Back on the inside, you can see Tuir and Nickow gets a hand to it. And this is what it's all about, playing to the referee's whistle, which didn't blow, and that is a very well-earned try. What a return for Bremer Kemby. but Summers really did accelerate through. Nikau knew that the pass was going to be on the inside. He positioned himself well. It comes off his knee. St. John Ellis had come across, but that's a well-taken try.
Bree McKebby, £25,000 from Huddersfield. Also with Widnes and St Helens. 16 tries in 17 for Huddersfield before he moved here to Bradford. And that's his 9th try of the current campaign. And he's only played in 5 games. David Hobbs has played in considerably more games for Bradford this season. And he adds the extra 2. Bradford then have the advantage after all that Castleford pressure. 6-4.
Lennox Lewis is British and he's bad.
And we're backing Lennox in his bid to overcome Tony Tucker in his first world title defense. While he's preparing for the big fight in Las Vegas, we want you to show him your support as he flies the British flag in the USA. Send Lennox a good luck message and we'll fly it 3,000 miles direct to Lennox to show Britain's first heavyweight champion this century that we're cheering him on back home. Send your card to Lennox Lewis, care of Sky Television, P.O. Box 43, Livingston, West Lothian, EH 54 7DD. And please don't forget a postage stamp. Of course, the fight is live and exclusive May 8th on Sky Sports. So send in your messages and cheer on our champion.
I want to be out of this before I'm 60.
We want to be branching out and going for growth. Branching out and going for growth.
I want to be able to get a word in.
Branching out and going for growth. Branching out.
I want to be an individual.
I want to be where he's sitting.
I want to be able to get my hands on that car salesman.
If you want to be able to see your financial future more clearly, the earlier you talk to Prudential, the better.
I want to be young again.
Whatever you want to be planning it with Prudential.
Be a two-car family with a 16-valve Nissan Primera.
From Michelin, tyres that allow you to choose the colour of your driving. The Pilot CX for luxury driving. Pilot SX for demanding driving. And Pilot HX for long-distance driving. High-performance tyres for your colour of driving. Michelin Pilot.
Everyone's a fruit and nut case. Carrots full of sun-ripened raisins.
Plump and fruity.
Boy, what a cutie.
Funky, chunky almonds.
They're the secret of my beauty. patience, Cadbury's prudent. Nut.
We are Commitments.
The Commitments.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Premieres tonight at 8 on the Movie Channel.
This match being played in quite atrocious conditions at Odsal, but Bradford Northern have just nosed in front by 6 points to 4, courtesy of Bree McKebby's 9th try of the season, goaled by David Hobbs. McKebby just lets that kick-off bounce off his knees.
That was excellent football there from Bradford Northern. The man at the dummy half, Derek Fox, tried a lovely long ball there, but Summers threw the dummy and took the advantage, and Castleford are caught offside again. It's the ploy that most Australian coaches use. You can see the centres moving out very quickly. Also the standoff Peter Coyne, and that was an awful mistake there.
Yes, dreadful error by Bradford Northern from the play the ball. There you see it. Dear, dear.
Neil Summers won't be happy with that.
And this is Nicow, and he'll be even unhappier if they manage to get over here with Martin Kettridge. But Castleford now so close, and Bradford caught offside. Tony Anderson. Mike Ford thinking about taking a very quick tap penalty and going for the 4, but Lee Crooks, the captain, shouting him and saying we'll have the 2 instead.
Experience showing there, the skipper Lee Crooks saying we'll take the 2. Not on the best side, of course, for the right-handed kicker, but you can see there, they were miles offside with the Bradford Northern players, Tony Anderson in particular. Mike Ford wanting to take the quick tap. But this should be quite an easy 2 points to the veteran Lee Crooks. Plenty of experience.
Great Britain international Lee Crooks, 18 caps, 1982 and 1983 Premiership finals with Hull, and he lost on both occasions. 100 games for Castleford now, and 4 goals here in the big league. So what can Crooks do with this penalty attempt for Castleford? Crowd doing their best to put him off, but not succeeding. Flags rise, scores level. 22 minutes gone. So all square here now. And David Hobbs, with mud all down the face, restarts. Stedman moves forward confidently and takes it. Hobbs rounds Keith England. It's going to be a bit of a slog for the forwards today, I fancy. Hobbs in with the tackling again on Martin Kettridge. Crooks, always looking to break the line, isn't he, Lee Crooks? Bradford, 15 more tackles so far. Mirrors the fact that Castleford have been in possession for such long periods. The Bradford Northern crowd appealing for a forward pass from Ford to Nicow. Referee Ollerton is unimpressed. Stedman, well, it almost came off for them before this ploy, but not today. Or not this time, rather.
Good play there by the fullback Roger Simpson. He took that very confidently.
Yes, the first one he went for just bounced off his shoulder. Roy Powell with the run. That was Good play by Brian Noble, managed to get the ball away to John Hamer under extreme pressure from the marker at the play of the ball. This now is Fox to Heron. Tackling Keith England. Last one. Hobbs. And St. John Ellis picks it up. Steadman harassed by Derek Fox.
Good play by Fox. That's the second tackle in succession. Followed up the kick by the skipper, David Hobbs.
Kettridge now. Southernwood to Ford to Crooks. Back to Ford, who'd gone up in support. Oh, and McGowan got a hand to it. It will be 6 to go here. McGowan got a hand to that pass from Ford.
Just fingertip control there. McGowan would have been away. There was just no one around.
Graham Southernwood again. On the tackle, Taylor can't wheel it in. And the ball finds touch off Taylor. It could be Castleford's head and feed.
For mine, David Hobbs went for the ball, not the man. That should have been a penalty, but Lady Luck shines on them.
Yes, it is Castleford's head and feed with Ford. The ball comes out, though, from the scrum, but referee Ollerton not happy. Wanted to reform.
Well, the reason why he's not happy, it didn't go in. Hit the prop's foot and just came back out.
Grant Anderson, pulled down by Summers. Little help from Simpson. Here's Coyne. Nickow was the runner. And in turn he found Kettridge. Tony Anderson and David Heron, the tacklers in Bradford's colours. Crooks off the chest of Tony Smith, picked up by David Heron.
Well, they were just trying to do what came earlier, which brought them a try. Crooks stepping back inside with the centre, Tony Smith steaming onto it, but Smith took his eyes off the ball, bounced off his chest.
Considering the conditions, that handling error count is very, very low indeed. And believe me, the conditions are absolutely appalling. You have to wipe the camera lenses all the time. Last tackle for Bradford Northern. It's with Fox. Expect the kick. There it is. And Simon Middleton has it for Castleford. Gets away from Fox. That's a good run from the winger. It had to be a good tackle from Roy Powell, and it was. Now then, St. John Ellis. Nickow.
That was a bone cruncher then from Carl Fairbank, and he was appealing to the referee that Nickow had moved off from the tackle away to play the ball.
It's Kettridge. The run came in from Morrison. It's gone left instead to Mike Ford. Ford just clips it forward. Mick Taylor has it. And then his tackle in his own in-goal area. Great chase by Lee Crooks and company.
Oh, this was a great tackle by the Castleford skipper. Ford to help. But it's the impact there of the big prop forward, Crooks. He means business.
Drop out from underneath their own post by Bradford. Not too much length on it. Tony Smith has it. Understandable that the ball must be like a piece of lead.
Been a good tackling stint from Bradford. They've been under a lot of pressure this half. The very few occasions that Bradford have got into Castleford's half, they scored a try.
Mike Ford, what can he engineer here? Ball back inside to Nickow. Southernwood from dummy half, and Crooks with the left foot, inviting St John-Ellis to have a run. Simpson sweeps up the danger again, yet another dropout from under Bradford's posts.
This is excellent play from Castleford. They're just applying the pressure right, doing the right thing, playing out the 5, then the kick, punching the ball into the in-goal area.
Paul Medley about to come on because Hobbs is limping off injured. Bradford captain disappearing, limping heavily, the right knee heavily strapped as it always is. It looks like the problem might be on the other leg. Stedman. Castleford back on the attack, as they have been for much of this half. And here's Simon Middleton trying to scamper his way across the top of the mud and through the tacklers. Southernwood. East England. They're so close again, Castleford here. It's now with Ford. Nickow is the runner. That's good play, and he's got support from Smith. Smith's done it again. Tony Smith behind the posts. That was inventive play from Castleford. And Tony Smith, his second try of this match.
Stone's bit of Premiership replay. Beautiful move here. The crisscross. Ford goes one way. Nickow comes through. Once the man goes down to tackle, the sweeping movement round, and the support play by Tony Smith. For the second time, he's latched onto a beautiful pass to score. See clearly now, Ford running back, brings the defence to him. Nickow goes away. You could see the gap come through there. That is a wonderful try. Well worked, well taken, and well finished. Rightly so, Smith is very happy indeed.
His 23rd try of the season now. He's the leading try scorer on his own. And from bang in front of the posts, Lee Crooks adds the extra 2. 12-6 to Castleford, 31 minutes gone.
See Mike Ford running that way. All the defence is there and the huge gap goes wide. Nickow comes across, swings in, commits the tackle. Support plays there, a huge gap. Nice rugby league football.
So Castleford are back in front. Summers restarts. Bradford have made that change, as we saw. Their captain's off the field. And Stedman has it for Castleford.
Bradford missing a few tackles now. Quick play the balls by Castleford, also catching them on the hop.
Nickow with the run. This is Keith England. And the possession stays very much in Castleford's favour. This is Crooks. Last one. The game has been played almost exclusively in the Bradford quarter, but that time Castleford had moved up too quickly and they collared Mick Taylor far too early.
Ford trying to reverse back across. You could see the referee Ollerton shouting out to the second rower, Morrison, you're offside, get off him. He didn't, he tackled him, thus the penalty's given. But I've been very impressed, Eddie, with the way that Castleford have used the kicking game, putting the pressure on Bradford. They've been in their own quarter nearly all this first half.
This is Medley. Remember, last time we were here at Odsall for a Friday night match, Medley ran in 4 superb tries. They could do with one from him here this afternoon. Perhaps one from Kebby again, but no, that time Middleton was alert to all the danger. Simpson. Noble waiting, reacting halfback. Misses out Derek Fox and finds McGowan.
I don't think he intended to miss out Derek Fox. Fox was ready to kick the ball downfield.
He'll do it now. St. John Ellis takes it on the first bounce. Medley brings him to the ground with a little help from Brian Noble. Stedman.
Once again, we see the Bradford Northern defence around the play the ball area. They're being caught again and again.
Lee Crooks got that second attempt and then was hammered by Furbank, halted his progress. Can Bradford halt the progress now of Anderson? Yes, they can. That's the last one. Stedman. Medley took the dummy. Stedman left-footed. And Bree McKebby, 10 metres from his own line. Simpson on the run from dummy half. Made no progress towards the Castleford post, but plenty of progress across the field of play. Now Anderson, that's good play. He finds Furbank. Furbank, his progress is halted. He didn't play that ball. Referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. David Heron.
Well, there was a lot of interference by the Castleford players then. Good referee in my opinion, keeping the game flowing.
Roy Powell takes Bradford over the halfway line on the last tackle. Offside against Tawera Nikau.
There you can see Tawera Nikau a little bit too fast coming away. You've got to stand in front. Split-second decision there. He just set up a little bit too soon.
And what a thing to do on the fifth tackle. It means that Castleford have now got to defend for another 6. And the advantage, remember, just 6 points, 12-6. Good time this for Northern to score. Just 4 minutes to half-time, 12-6. Castleford ahead. But Northern in possession and on the attack with Heron. To Fox, to Summers, back inside to Medley. Derek Fox, David Heron and Tony Anderson. Anderson inviting Kebby to use his pace, but that was asking a lot. Ball runs dead.
A little bit too strong from the centre, Tony Anderson, but Bradford Northern really paid the price because when they were receiving the football, they were all stood still rather than moving on to the ball.
So Castleford escaped for that indiscretion by Tawera Nikau, and they're in possession now with Crooks. Really is a hard forward slog, isn't it, Mike, this, in these conditions?
Well, they're trying to take the superior side of it, but Bradford, to me, appear to be just quite happy to slog it out down the middle. Castleford more intent to keep this ball alive.
That picture really indicates just how bad the conditions are here at Odsal this afternoon. Sorry to keep harping on about it, but it's pretty grim. Stedman left-footed. That ball will not run dead. St. John Ellis is there. Simpson has to get out of trouble and does. Well played full-back. But a knock-on. Eagle eye, Ian Ollerton, the match referee.
Oh, bad mistake from Roger Simpson, but good tackling. Must have just squeezed out here. I couldn't see it. But if he did lose the ball, then the ball would have been going in a backwards direction. Not surprisingly, Simpson is looking perplexed.
Castleford with the possession with Nikau. Pulled down by his opposite number, David Heron. 35 years old, David Heron. And this is Keith England.
Bradford have to be careful from the dummy half area.
Crooks turning and twisting, and Graham Stedman was piling up in support on his left-hand side, hung on instead. This now is Mike Ford, and Morrison took the pass and collided with Ford and Brian Noble, who'd made the tackle. Southernwood's coming this way again. That's good defence, Bradford. swarming forward.
Looks like Coyne's going for the one-pointer.
Steadman dabs it through. Medley didn't get out of the way, doesn't have to. And Simpson now trying to work that ball away.
Well, the Australian standoff won't be happy with that. He was stood in position screaming to try to go for the field goal. Steadman took the option to just kick through and chase.
In the last minute of this first half, it's 12-6. Castleford ahead here at Odsal. In the last 5 years, Bradford have won only 2 of 10 league encounters between these two. And it's a real war of attrition here today. Middleton collecting Neil Summers' kick downfield.
Well, at least the idea's there with Bradford. Rather than slugging it out, they've now decided to punch the ball through and copy a little bit from Castleford.
Was that obstruction by St. John Ellis? He ran straight into Tony Smith. Referee says play on.
Well, if it had come another yard, perhaps that would have been it, but that's a half-time siren.
The half-time siren comes, and the players at both sides would be glad to get into the dressing room for words of wisdom from their coach, and also for a warming cup of tea. But Tony Smith, with the 2 tries, has really caught the eye here this afternoon. His 2 tries have given Castleford a 12-6 half-time lead. Half-time here at Odsal, and Bradford Northern 6, Castleford 12. The 2 tries from Tony Smith to the 1 from Bree McKebby. Match statistics from the first half. And look at the tackling that Bradford have had to do, because Castleford have seen so much of the ball. Scrums have gone Castleford's way 6-1. Penalties just about level pegging, as are the handling errors, but 60-40. That's how much Castleford are ahead in terms of possession. Bree McKebby hasn't played since September and has punctuated his return to the Bradford Northern lineup with the try. He's only played a handful of matches, 5 in all, and he's scored 9 tries now. It's not a bad record, is it? So the rain continues to fall at Grey Odsal, but these 2 sides illuminating the scene for you. Castleford defending a 12-6 half-time lead. Semi-finals in 2 weeks' time. The big one, May 16th.
Well, I'm sure that the Castleford coach, Daryl Vandervelde, would have been quite happy with that first half. Their kicking game was superb. Running from the dummy half. Excellent play there also. And they've been a little bit more adventurous than Bradford Northern, because they've applied that pressure throughout that first 40. They'll want more of the same in this half.
Steadman's kick downfield, wheeled in by Roger Simpson, who in turn is wheeled in by Keith England and Mike Ford. Mick Taylor now from acting half-back. Debut for Bradford against Wigan in March. Oh, that wasn't the best pass in the world. And that's untidy on both sides. Referee must play first knock-on.
Well, that wouldn't have pleased the Bradford Northern coach, Peter Fox. Tricky conditions, very slippery indeed. I'm just about to say that I'm sure that Fox would have told his charges to really try to be a little bit more adventurous and get the kicking game sorted out.
Here's Steadman on a lovely little run through a gap, but hauled down by the shirt collar by Mick Taylor. And Taylor again in on the tackling with Neil Summers. Here's Keith England, shoulder to the wheel by England, but well met by Hamer and Powell. Their strength forces him back to 10 metres. Now Mike Ford looking to create something for Nick Howe, who in turn brings Tony Smith into it. Smith on a hat-trick, remember, after those 2 tries in the first half.
Castleford happy to emulate the move that brought Smith's second try, and it nearly came off then.
It might do here. Crooks has fed Mike Ford, and Mike Ford's over. Quicksilver attack from Castleford. Bradford perhaps looking for Smith, and Ford took full advantage.
Stone's bit of Premiership replay. Beautiful play by the skipper, Lee Crooks, again. He just loves this type of football. If you don't go and stop him, ball and all, he'll twist round the man, look for the support, and it was Mike Ford that was there. Beautiful play here. Look how he just pushes off Fox, gets round the man. Fairbank couldn't hold him, but well finished by Mike Ford.
Mike Ford having the head tape, obviously a touch of blood just coming down from a head wound. But Lee Crooks now shaping to take the conversion. He has created at least 2 of Castleford's 3 tries here this afternoon. He's having a growing influence on this Premiership first round tie. Just burst through the tacklers then, slipped the pass, and Mike Ford did the rest. And Crooks completes the job, makes the 4 into 6. And Castleford have 1 foot in the semi-finals.
3 men come for 1 man. Crooks, and look at the acres of space there for the halfback Mike Ford to score the try. There's no one anywhere near him.
So 23 tries now for Mike Ford, exactly the same number as Tony Smith, the 2 try scorers here for Castleford today. Now Simon Middleton. Tenacity in the tackling from Derek Fox. He knows that something will have to be done pretty quickly if Bradford are to get back into this match. There he is again, tackling Southernwood.
Well, I'm a great believer, Eddie, that only the brave are rewarded, and that's what Castleford are playing like. They really are showing their tactics, trying to play open football in wet conditions. We saw a move before that where Crooks went through. That split the defence anyway. Bradford's defence was all over the shop. A try resulted.
Mike Ford clips one downfield. Kebby collects it, and then Kebby in turn is tackled by Smith and Middleton. Roger Simpson now for Bradford Northern. The ball has come back though to Lee Crooks. 5 minutes gone. Castleford with the early try, second half. In possession here now with Keith England. Ford. Southernwood. Back to Coyne. Nickow is the runner. Nickow has support from Grant Anderson. Steve McGowan and Paul Medley bring that particular attack to a halt. Castleford now will sweep the ball from left to right with Crooks again. Last tackle. Ford is there. Ford ran straight in to Keith England, and there was some indecision in the Castleford ranks then, and offside against Castleford now. But Tony Anderson saying, why didn't you play advantage, Ian Otterton?
Well, it was Simon Middleton that was caught offside. Anderson was well on his way. Bradford not happy with that. But just before that, Castleford lost the plot completely. You could see Mike Ford looking to see what was happening, looking for the run, and there was just no one there.
Strong run from John Hamer. Fox. Bradford know they need to reply quickly. In possession with power. Noble, the acting halfback at the play, the ball. Heron to Summers, to Medley. This is Fox, and Fairbank slips the ball away well, finds Hamer.
Good play by the second row of Fairbank there, turning back inside, and good support play.
Fox now with a scumpering little run, taking play to within 5 metres of the Castleford posts. Fairbank, right-footed, clips one forward. Middleton does well, gets out of trouble. Oh, it's a good run from Middleton.
He's had a big game as the winger Middleton. Come back for that kick. Good positioning. Great stepping run. He's had a big game.
They've only been to the Premiership final once in 1984. That was at Headingley, and they were beaten 18-10 by Hulkingston Rovers. And here's an interesting one for you. The new Wigan coach, John Dorahay, took the Man of the Match award.
Well, Castleford caught using the dummy runner. You can see it's the second row of Tony Morrison. Morrison looks to the skies, says, "You're kidding." But the referee, Ollerton, is not.
Substitution about to be made by Bradford Northern. Dio Powell, who played last week at Leeds, comes on for Steve McGowan. And the tall McGowan take his seat on the bench for a moment or two, and he has had a very quiet match. And Steve McGowan, 20 tries this season, but none here this afternoon so far. Bradford then in possession with Mike Taylor. Made no ground there. They started off 12 metres from the line, and that's where they remain, but a little nearer the posts with Powell. He makes progress. Fairbank. Ball back to John Hamer. Hamer, well, perhaps he should have gone left. He came right and into the heavy traffic. Back to Fox, diving, he gets it away to Heron. Nowhere to go for Bradford. Good defence from Castleford. It's the last tackle.
This is where Bradford should be using the little grubber kick.
There it is, by Fox, but too strong.
Well, the idea was there. That'll lift their spirits. We saw for the first time in this game that Derek Fox scampered away a few minutes earlier. That's the type of running that Bradford have to do. You've got to play this ball a lot quicker and get on with it.
Something has obviously incensed the supporters on the terraces with the Bradford Northern colours. But it's Castleford who are in possession with Crooks, gets the ball away well to Anderson.
Well, they thought Castleford didn't play the ball correctly, and then straight away from the dummy half, they thought it was a forward pass.
10 minutes gone, second half, 18-6. The gap is 12 points. Bradford Northern, Yorkshire's leading club in terms of big league placings, are up against it against Castleford here. And when you add the fact that Bradford were only stopped in their pursuit of the Regal Trophy and the Challenge Cup by Wigan, that's the measure of their season. Good defence, though, from Derek Fox.
Nice kick and chase, but the position there by Derek Fox, he read it perfectly.
Now Bree McKebby.
Derek Fox is a one-man that can really bring it out for Bradford. It's taken him a while, as I said, to get into the swing of things since the operation.
Now Neil Summers, Supporters Player of the Year. Powell disappears under the challenge. Good defence from Castleford. Bradford still in their own half of the field. And Fox just punches that ball over the top. Not a bad kick. I don't think it's got the... Well, there you are. I'm no judge. I was going to say, I don't think it's got the legs. Well, now then, don't forget the Premiership semi-finals, live and exclusive, or the Premiership finals, rather, live and exclusive from Old Trafford on Sunday, the 16th of May. 7 hours for you, 11 until 6 on the day. Going to be an extravaganza of rugby league. The sun always tends to shine on Premiership finals day. And we have the academy for you to kick things off, the divisional Premiership, involving the best teams from the second and third division, and then the big one. This is a good run. Meanwhile, here in this first round tie by Martin Ketteridge. And now Keith England. That's tackle for Castleford. And again they give it to Crooks, who clips one over the top. Now are they all onside? Well, they are now, and the ball's come free, but no try. No try. Well, what's his ruling here? He's wiping it off despite Nickau having touched it down. Knocked on, he says.
Well, perhaps I would have given a penalty to Bradford for interference there on the fullback Roger Simpson. But I didn't see a knock on there anywhere.
Well, the try doesn't count. This is Dio Powell. On as a substitute, remember, for Steve McGowan. Now Derek Fox. Long pass to Simpson.
That's the other option that Bradford have to be looking for now. Roger Simpson really is a live wire, got a nice step, got plenty of speed. He's got to link up from the full-back position, try to inject some attacking spirit into this Bradford side.
Last tackle for Bradford Northern, who hold home advantage against Castleford. 31 wins to 21 since the war against the opponents from just down the M62 motorway. Now Simon Middleton. Stedman. Stuttering little run. Brought to a halt by Brian Noble. Southernwood at dummy half to Morrison. Castleford elect to go down the right-hand side. Coin to Nickau. Can't get the ball away in the tackle. The last one for Castleford. Grant Anderson's there at dummy half. This now is Crooks. And Crooks off the side of the boot just slices it straight up in the air. And there was no one there challenging. Neil Summers picked it up gratefully. John Hamer. And Dean Sampson is going to come on for Keith England the next time there's a break in play. Summers. Quarter of an hour of this second half gone. Castleford 18-6 ahead. And at the moment, no sign that Bradford Northern are making much of an impression on this Castleford defence. Maybe they will now with Medley. Needs little kick and chase, and Stedman came across and soccer style just hacked it out of play.
Good play by Medley. Fullback Graham Stedman coming through, decided not to dive onto the ball, but elected to kick through. You could see that Paul Medley was bearing down upon him.
Sampson then now can come on. And it is Keith England who comes off. So the Great Britain international, Keith England, replaced by Dean Sampson, a man who went on tour with Great Britain for the New Zealand leg of the Lions summer journey down under. This is Neil Summers, meanwhile. He has worked hard, has the little Bradford standoff today.
That was a good run from dummy half, more of the same.
Heron to Powell. Powell twisting and turning. Gets the ball away, but the referee says knock on again, much to the annoyance of Bradford and their fans.
Well, it was just a little one. Fingertips there by the veteran Brian Noble. The eyes of the referee in Ollerton, exceptional there.
Brian Noble packing down there at hooker, judged to have knocked on, back after missing the last 5 matches. Simon Middleton now. Remember, Bradford far from out of this, just 12 points. That's 2 converted tries, and it'll be all level. Oh, what a big collision. Sampson went down flat out.
Oh, that was a belter. Carl Fairbank onto Dean Sampson. And he put the ball down in front before he was tackled. Now that's classified as a voluntary tackle. That is why the penalty is being given to Bradford.
So it's Bradford then, with some pressure at last on this Castleford line. Noble to Fox, to Roy Powell, who will run all day for you.
Bradford have to start running at the angles, try to drag this Castleford defence away.
Getting a first shout in the penalty count, aren't they? This is Carl Fairbank, who tried to take that to himself. Ball comes free. Referee says play on, and Kettridge moves the ball out.
Well, he took an option there that I wouldn't have gone for. Early in the tackle count, he's only on the second tackle, and really that's a wasted opportunity. They should have settled things down there. Just lost control a little bit there, did Carl Fairbank.
Bradford player down and injured. And the feeling it's Fox, it is. Southernwood just couldn't keep his feet. Steadman over the top. Taylor watches it. And now we'll run it back. Try to run through St. John Ellis. That's good play. St. John Ellis and Grant Anderson bringing Mick Taylor back to where he collected the ball from.
That was another excellent kick there, and that's a wasted opportunity.
Now he managed to keep the ball in the field of play. Dio Powell just whipped it back and Taylor got to it first. But this is great tackling from Castleford again. Fox long ball to Paul Medley.
And that just shows you the importance of a wonderful kicking game. Castleford really have led the way in that department.
Heron to Powell. Powell stepping. Taylor, the dummy half. Heron to Fox. One bounce collected by Middleton. And good tackling by Tony Anderson.
Well, that just emphasises what I was saying in regards to Castleford having a better kicking game. We saw Fox there gain no more than 10 metres. They've got to try to punch this ball down 30, 40 metres to make any advantage.
We're midway through this second half and Castleford have the 12-point advantage. Bradford 6, Castleford 18. And Castleford in possession with the Australian Peter Coyne. He'd marked the end of his first season quite gloriously if Castleford got to Old Trafford. But I bet Old Trafford on a sunny May afternoon seems a million miles away from the mud here at Odsal in these awful conditions. Ball's clipped over the top and well wheeled in by Kebby. Referee's whistle sounds. He defused the bomb behind his own try line, so it's a tap on the 20-metre mark. And Steve McGowan is about to be reintroduced. And it's Carl Fairbank who will come off. Well, that could be a decisive blow for Bradford. Can only assume that Fairbank's injured, Steve-O.
Yeah, I think he went into the game feeling a little bit under the weather anyway. But we saw him pull off that wonderful crash on the substitute Dean Sampson. Maybe that took a bit out of him too.
Bradford will certainly miss him in the pack. But they have McGowan there in the backs now to add a bit of pace.
It's getting to that stage now where Bradford Northern have to start taking gambles. Perhaps move Roger Simpson from the full-back, get involved a little bit more. Fox trying to get a ball out wide, perhaps going a bit wider away, and that's just been pulled away. The hooker, Southernwood. You see, drags the ball. Powell quite happy to let it go. The penalty, Bradford still in with a chance. What can they do from here?
Well, they're in possession with John Hamer. Noble, the dummy half. Mick Taylor. Fox now on the diagonal run, brings McGowan into it. Castleford now defending at their own end of the field. Bradford in possession with Heron. This is Summers. So close, Bradford. Noble. Back to Dio Powell. Elusive little player, Powell. It's the last tackle. Fox moves the ball along the line to Heron. Long pass out to Anderson. Back inside to Simpson. Simpson dabs it forward, straight into the arms of Graham Steadman.
Well, we talk about Johnny on the spot, and that's what Graham Steadman was then. But that's a type of play from Bradford. There you see the retrievement. Graham Steadman, excellent positioning. But we mentioned the fact that Bradford would be doing a lot better running at the angles. That's what they started to do, and bringing Roger Simpson up into the play.
The ball comes free, and the referee blows the whistle because the ball went free, and it is a knock-on. Bradford 6, Castleford 18. "12 points the difference as this scrum goes down. 23 minutes of the second half played. It's Bradford 6, Castleford 18, and Bradford know that they need to score now, and quickly too, to get themselves back into this match. We've certainly seen a lot more of the ball in this second half than they did in the first. Summers, that ball came off the referee, and Morrison picked it up.
Once again, a wasted opportunity there in the kicking game from Bradford. They really should be punching that ball into the in-goal area. That way they get the dropout from underneath the sticks. And they're just losing their way a little bit in that department.
The possession has certainly swung back Bradford's way after they were on the receiving end of a 60-40 statistic in the first half. They're back in this second 40 minutes in a big way.
Castleford quite happy just to grind it out now. They know that they're in the box seat.
That was a good ball again from Crooks. It released the hooker, Tony Smith rather, the centre, not Graham Southernwood. Steadman's kick downfield.
Yeah, we've arrived.
With it all to do.
Been one of their better features, the way that Castleford have used this kick and chase game. You could see there that Roger Simpson was caught within his own quarter. Now Bradford have to drag it back upfield again.
Trying that now with Tony Anderson. He gets the ball away and the tackle to Kevy. Now Kevy can move, but that's a great tackle from Nick Out. And not only did Nick Out take the man and ball, he brought Kevy out of the field of play.
Sizing up well, didn't he, the Kiwi? And there you could see the momentum had not stopped. Whilst Everett is moving, wonderful tackle. He had eyes on the target, knew exactly where he was going to go down right into the thighs. Slips down to the legs, and then took him all over the touchline.
Mike Ford trying to get that ball into a slightly shambolic scrum, does so just behind the second rower's legs. And Anderson stepping away from one challenge, but couldn't get away from Roger Simpson. Steadman to Nick Out. Nick Out straightening up.
Despite wet conditions, they've still stuck to that open play, Castleford, using the Kiwi Nikau out wide. He loves to run just off the fringe of the ruck into the centre area.
As you can see from our pictures, the rain continues to stream down here at Odsal. Quite atrocious conditions. The players doing their best, And so too our cameramen trying to get these pictures to you. Ball stabbed forward. Dio Powell it is. It's Steve McGowan rather who drops on it. That just shows you how bad the visibility is here at Odsal when you get those two mixed up.
Yeah, pretty difficult through this swirling mist. Really has been a damp day. And that will put another dampener on the Bradford side. Knock on. Under pressure again. The impact of the tackle. Tony Morrison coming in very hard indeed. Fair.
And Andy Fisher is about to be introduced by Castleford when there is next a break in play. And they're looking to take Graham Southernwood off. That's Peter Coyne. This is Grant Anderson. And Stedman again.
This is where Castleford should be putting their moves on.
Dean Sampson through one, but not through that one. Gets the ball away though. The referee's whistle sounds. Forward pass is the decision. Sampson took a crack when he released that ball.
Slightly forward. Only just though. Martin Ketteridge sinking over for what should have been the match-winning try for certain. Good positioning by the referee Ollerton.
Fisher on, and Graham Southernwood goes off. And Fisher into the hooking role, vacated by that man.
He's worked hard as Graham Southernwood. Some good runs from dummy half. They've found a few openings there in the Bradford Northern defence in and around the rucks.
Fox with the run from the base of the scrum, halted by Stedman. Here's McGowan again. Both sides have worked tremendously hard. Nick Taylor thought he got away from the Castleford defence then, but the cover came across. Roy Powell now for Bradford, releases the pass well, finds Heron. That touched the Castleford hand of Peter Coyne.
No doubt about it, and this will go back to 6 more. Still in with a chance, but they really have got to throw caution to the wind now, Bradford.
10 minutes to go. 6 to Bradford, 18 to Castleford. With Anderson. Good tackling, Tony Smith, scorer of the 2 tries in the first half. Here's David Heron, turns the ball back to Roy Powell. Powell using his strength. Play on, says the referee. And Castleford have it back with Lee Crooks.
Well, it's to be expected. Bradford know that they've got to keep this ball alive. It's not easy. And up against it, times against them also. Still 12 points behind.
Well, it's mud or glory now for Bradford. Dean Sampson gets the ball away to 4. He finds Coyne. And Coyne electing to go on his own.
Well, when you've got that 12-point cushion, you don't have to take the gambles. He was thinking about sending a long ball out, but there's no point. When you're in the driving seat, just respect that possession.
Stedman clips one. Medley has it for Bradford. Now Simpson. With a bit high. Referee playing the advantage.
Well, he's the one man on the Bradford side, Roger Simpson, that could perhaps get away. He has the speed, he's got the guile, he's got a lovely step.
Hamer under pressure from Fisher, who's just on. Heron now. They don't seem to be able to break through this very tough and resolute Castleford defence. And St John Ellis has it now for Castleford.
Not only that, Eddie, I just get the impression that Bradford Northern look a little bit tired now. A few tackles being missed. It's been pretty hard out there for both sides, but I just get the impression that Bradford are tiring very quickly.
161, that's 162 tackles, taking its toll on the Bradford Northern side. Particularly in these conditions. Nick out. Tackled by Powell. Mike Ford was the dummy half, and here's Kettridge again. Crooks now.
He's had a strong game as a skipper, Lee Crooks. Involved in the first 2 tries, 2 lovely little neat passes. Enjoys this type of condition.
Coyne just drifts one over the top. Bree McKebby has it.
They must be having nightmares, Bradford Northern, with having to go round back all the time. The Castleford kicking game, punching it down into the corners. They've found nearly all this game they've had to struggle to get out of their own half.
Well, 7 minutes for Bradford to rescue this, or will they be going on their close season trip? It's a place in the semi-final of the Premiership that beckons in 2 weeks' time. And Castleford are ahead by 12 points, 18-6. That was the last tackle for Bradford. Fisher's tackle on McGowan means it's the turnover. This is Dean Sampson. Kettridge. Ford at dummy half. Crooks again. Gets away from one tackle. Well, he's caused some damage with runs like that, has Lee Crooks.
He's having the time of his life out there. He's been dragging the defence to him, 2 and 3 men every time he runs with the ball.
A little drop goal attempt from Stedman, and that stretches the lead even further. The gap now 13 points. It's lucky 13 for Castleford. They're on their way to the semi-final.
Well, it's all about taking your opportunities. Don't go all that hard work and come away with nothing. The 1 point, that surely must seal it now. Good thinking by the fullback, Graham Stedman. Positioned himself well.
And Castleford, who have had to travel to Odsal for this first round tie, will know that from 6th place they will have to travel now in the semi-final. Semi-finals, both of them you can see on Sky in 2 weeks' time. One on the Friday night and one on the Sunday. The Friday night live, and the Sunday it'll be as live or as best we can.
And I think after this very hard encounter, Castleford will be happy to have a fortnight's break. They can prepare themselves for the semi-final.
Morrison now for Castleford through a little gap, brings Ford into it. He gives it to Grant Anderson. St John Ellis goes inside, and he was sniffing for the opportunity then. It's back with Ford, right-footed. It bounced off a Bradford Northern ankle. Heron has it.
Well, that was one of the few Castleford kicks that really didn't come of anything. They went to elect for the short kick to the touch rather than deep down into the corner. But they'll be pretty happy. They know that they've got this game won now.
If England is waiting to come back into the action here for the closing 4 minutes or so, and he will replace Lee Crooks, who has worked tirelessly for his team today. So has this fella, Graham Stedman. It's had a busy afternoon. And he stood firm, hasn't he, at the back? Stood up to everything that Bradford have thrown at him. Here's St John Ellis. applause in the background is because Crooks has come off injured. And he takes his place on the bench, does the Castleford captain, and so England can be introduced without a break in play. Big effort from Lee Crooks today. Now Mike Ford for Castleford. Last one. They're getting up to their feet wearily now, aren't they, the players of both sides. Stedman, under pressure from Powell, slices the ball straight into touch.
Not happy with it, but good play by Roy Powell. You can see putting him in a lot of pressure. Stedman normally stands back a little bit deeper than that. He's fully aware of it.
Well, credit both sides. On a day like this, you don't really expect it, do you, at the end of April, to have such appalling conditions. But Paul Medley is still going strong. He slipped the pass out, but it just went in front of Dio Powell. He couldn't get hold of it.
Just hasn't been their day, has it, Bradford Northern? Substitute Paul Medley making the half break. Looked to keep the ball alive, didn't come off for him. But even though it's been a tough encounter, Eddie, we've seen some lovely skills. The two little passes from Lee Crooks. That was well worth the admission money in my book.
Castleford keep going to the end with Middleton. That attack from England stopped on halfway. As Coyne drills the ball right-footed towards the corner flag. Back it comes with Kebby. Just 1 minute left for play, plus whatever is added on by the timekeepers, of course. Not too much stoppage time in this match. The semi-finals beckoning then for Castleford. They got to Wembley, remember, last year, to lose to Wigan. And what a send-off it would be for Darrell van der Velde if they got to Old Trafford on 16th of May. Very little time added on by the timekeepers. It's all over, and Castleford are through to the semi-finals. Shake hands all round. It's been a hard battle, and Mike Ford with the try in the second half, sealing this Castleford victory. It is Castleford who progress to the last four. So Castleford's season continues for at least another fortnight. Victory here over Bradford Northern by 19 points to 6. 4,500 brave, some dreadful conditions to see them get through. A real battle out there then, but Castleford's Tawera Nicow delighted to be through to the semi-finals, even though it means a trip to Wigan. Tawera, after all that and that hard battle out there, you've now got to face Wigan in the semi-finals.
Yes, it's something we're looking forward to, Eddie. You know, we played them a week Friday ago and they beat us in the championship, so now we're going to go back there with a vengeance, and I'm sure it's going to be a very tough, entertaining game.
Well, you certainly owe them one, I suppose.
Yes, definitely. You know, today's game we controlled the ball a lot better than we did in that game against Wigan, so no, I think it's going to be a very hard and enjoyable tussle.
The one thing in your favour, perhaps, is that Wigan-Castleford now will be on the Friday, and it's coming right on the back of Wembley for them.
Yes, well, it's going to be a tough week for them, and you know, the big build-up after playing at Wembley, and you know, but knowing Wigan, they're champions and they're good at preparation, so you know, all their games are going to be very hard. And they're going to be very well prepared.
But what a slog it was for you today.
Yes, you know, as I said before, we managed to control the ball up the middle. I think in the first half we only made 3 mistakes with the ball, and that was the difference. We tired Bradford Northern out in the forwards, and you know, we just tended to hit them on the fringes, and it paid off in the end.
So let's now take a look at the match statistics, and Bradford Northern did a lot more work in the tackling. Scrums going Castleford's way, penalties going Bradford's way, handling errors, only 12 of them. Well done to both sides, but it was Castleford's match in terms of possession as well. Well, John, as the new Castleford coach, let's get your impressions of this win here at Bradford.
I think it was a very good win, Eddie. As Steve said earlier, we came here to control the ball. The longer we kept the ball, the more they had to tackle. I think we did that perfectly right all the game. And in the end, they just tired out.
You're looking forward to this new role, I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to it very much, yes. It's a new challenge. I think life's all about challenges. I've got some big shoes to fill in Daddles, but I've learned a lot off him, and I'm looking forward to working with Alan also.
And of course you've got some excellent players, haven't you, under your control?
Some very good players that have shown today. Once we do the basics right and learn to control the ball, as we have done today, with a very hard team to beat.
It would be nice to start off the new season as defending Premiership trophy winners.
It'd be very nice, yes. I think we can, with a good chance. Castleford-Wigan games are always good, exciting games. I'm gone either way. I think we have a good record over them in the last few years.
So John Joyner of Castleford, the new coach at Weldon Road, with his eyes firmly fixed on Old Trafford, and why not? A great victory for his team here today at Odsal. But Steve-O, it was a real war of attrition, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a pretty hard game, but I was very impressed with the way that Castleford played. They played it very strong in the forwards, but really it all came down to the kicking game. I thought Stedman's and Mike Ford's kicking game was absolutely wonderful. They kept just forcing Bradford back all day.
The big question now, of course, is can they take on Wigan at Central Park?
I think they can. I think they're going to have a fortnight's rest, and of course that will certainly help them. And Wigan will be coming back just from a Wembley appearance, so they could be in with a really big chance at Central Park.
Well, the conditions here are absolutely appalling, but in the first half, Castleford did really well, and what a game Lee Crooks has had.
Yes, he loved it, didn't he? He revelled in these conditions, but that was sheer magic. His step went round the man and just had the great support player. Beautiful try by Smith. Excellent try there.
The one bright spot for Bradford Northern was the try from Bree McKebby. Now, he hasn't played since September, but almost in every match he has played, he's managed to find the touch and go over for the try.
Yes, it was one of the moments where Castleford really just fell down there. Summers took the dummy, but a little bit of unfortunate there. Nick out, getting his hands across, and Kebby, certainly Johnny on the spot there, and that really was one of the few occasions that Bradford did breach the Castleford defence.
Well, Castleford were ahead by half-time, and it came, the second try, courtesy of Tony Smith again.
Yes, he certainly has had a big game, but once again we saw our Castleford. They were running the angles a lot better than Bradford. Nick Howe getting the ball out wide. It was a beautiful pass, and he really has had a big game, this Smith. Good support play in for his second try.
Yes, well done, Tony Smith. Well done, Castleford. They were ahead at half-time. Bradford needed to score early in the second half, but again it was Castleford who came up with the 4 points. And Mike Ford, crowning really what has been a wonderful season for him, but again the big man Crooks.
Yes, you could see there the skill and the experience. Crooks going through, the Bradford defence going far too high, just squeezed it round, and a beautiful pass. That's really one of the highlights of the game, those 2 passes from the veteran Lee Crooks.
Well, so Castleford then are through to the semi-finals, where they'll play Wigan, and of course the big prize on offer for them is a trip to Old Trafford for the Premiership finals on the 16th of May. Now, how do you fancy coming to Old Trafford with us here at Sky? You can on a VIP day out, courtesy of our Stones Bitter Man of Steel.